Good evening and welcome to this showing of CCIW women's basketball. I'm Andrew Pitkin alongside Casey Balicki, and Wheaton Thunder 7-8 with a 3-3 record in the CCIW so far this year, whereas North Central 8-7 with a 2-4 record so far this year, Casey. So a lot of implications for the playoff, not necessarily playoffs rather, but the rest of the standings, the rest of the season. What do you think the implications of this game will be?
Yeah, I mean, it's always too early to start talking about the playoffs, but then it's never too early to start talking about the playoffs,
Sure.
Especially when you're these two teams, you're this deep in a good conference. We're talking about tied for, I believe it's 6th and 7th between the two teams, Wheaton and North Central respectively. So Wheaton tonight, they're looking to stay up with those teams in the top of the conference. They've got to get to 4-2. We were talking about before the broadcast. Wheaton right now is a game and a half outside of second place in the CCIW. So if they can win tonight, I mean, and North Park takes a loss, which they probably won't, playing at Milliken tonight, but if they can get to 4-2, that'll be huge, or 4-3, excuse me, that'll be huge for them moving on into a big week they have this Saturday and onwards. North Central, on the other hand, is playing for their season. At this point, their back is against the wall. They've got to win every single conference game that they play. Hope that Connor Raritan can get back in their lineup and then start to win. They were ranked at the beginning of the year, have lost to only one ranked opponent. That was after Connor Raritan went down, beat Benedictine, who was ranked, I think, 16th at the time. So, I mean, this is definitely a team with talent, but they are just hurting with some injuries right now and need to stay competitive until they get their guys back.
And as you mentioned, Connor Raritan out, as you said, Alex Thorson stepping in for him.
Yeah.
16.1 points per game. What is he going to have to do tonight to give his team a lift?
Yeah, and I think 16.1 is a big number for Sorensen. I think 8 rebounds is a bigger number for Sorensen. He is a horse on the boards, and that's something that Wheaton has done a better job than I thought they were going to do in getting rebounds this year, but it's going to be another battle tonight. Can you keep Sorensen out of double-double territory? This is a guy that was going to be an All-American pretty much shoe-in at the beginning of the year. Great basketball player. Can Wheaton neutralize his threat? North Central's going to want to bring the ball down low, out, inside out, work through him, try to get him onto the perimeter. He's a shooter too. Very talented player. Wheaton's is going to have their hands full with him tonight.
We thank you for joining us for this game. We're going to take a quick break as we give you the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wheaton College basketball. Tonight we have your Wheaton College Thunder going up against the North Central College Cardinals. And now would everyone please rise for the playing of the national anthem. And now the starting lineups. First for the visitors from North Central. At one guard, a 6'2 sophomore out of Aurora, number 2, Tommy Koth. The other guard, a 6'3 sophomore out of LaGrange, number 4, Jaquan Phipps. At forward, we have a 6'3 sophomore out of Freeport, number 11, Aiden Chang. The other forward, a 6'5 freshman out of Romeoville, number 30, Matt Capoletti. And at center, a 6'8 junior out of Dunlap, number 44, Alex Sorensen. North Central is coached by Todd Raritan, who's assisted by Steve Schweer, Aaron Tickness, and Vince Kamek. And now, Wheaton College fans, on your feet, the starting lineup for your Wheaton College Thunder. At one guard, a 6'1 sophomore out of Tyler, Texas, number 1, Aston Francis. The other guards, a 6'3 sophomore out of Medina, number 2, Luke Peters. At one forward, we have a 6'5 sophomore out of Maitland, number 13, Kobe Eichelberger. The other forward to 6'3", junior out of New Trier High School, number 22, Ricky Samuelson. And at center, a 6'6", sophomore out of Flint, Texas, number 5, Trevor Gunter. Wheaton College is coached by Mike Schauer, who's assisted by JP John Panner and Kyle Keck.
Welcome back to King Arena. Again, Andrew Pitkin alongside Casey Balickian. And Casey, looking forward into this game, Jay Spencer back from injury. What impact do you think that will have as they try to flock Sorensen? Might have to rotate bodies in as he is one of their best players.
Yeah. So Gunter's starting out on him, and that's going to be a good matchup. As I've said in the past, I am a big fan of Trevor Gunter. He has been a big surprise this year and how well he's played. But Jay Peterson's athleticism could be a problem for number 44 down low in Cardinal, because he's a finesse player, much more than, if you look back at the North Central big guys from the past, talking about Gambles. Gambles is much more of a big guy. He's going to go right through you. Sorensen's looking to go around you, over you. Jay Spencer could disrupt that.
Tip is one, tapped out by Luke Peters, unable to control it. And the ball will start with North Central. They're going to get sorted out which way the possession arrow should show, and it's going to show Wheaton's way to start it out. Bringing the ball up is number 11, Aiden Chang. Now with number 30, Matt Capoletti. Back to Chang. Trying to find some space, being hounded. Sorensen pump fakes. Found some space, has to pass it up now to Tommy Koth with the shot. No good, rebound. And Gunter comes down with it. There's that hustle on the glass like you just talked about, Casey. Yeah,
he's just a big-time hustle player. He's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, but he gets rebounds because he wants them more than everyone else.
Pass going out of bounds. Wasn't touched by anyone. Great effort by Eichelberger, unable to get it back in.
And they've really fallen in love with that back cut there. You see it every game. They run it 3 or 4 times. That one, a good pass by Francis, just a little bit too much juice on it, so a good look. Gunter unable to handle it, and it'll go out of bounds. North Central ball.
Aston Francis constantly being the one finding guys on back cuts, as well as Luke Peters leading the team in assists at 5.5. Sorensen down low, that's where they want the ball. He's doubled a bit. There's Chang to the elbow with the jumper. No good. Rebounded by number 4, Jaquan Phipps. Kick to Chang wide open, takes it into the lane. Now it's number 2, Tommy Koth shoots the 3, no good again.
Wheaton gets really lucky there. A pretty poor closeout by Aston Francis on the outside. His man gets by him. Wheaton lucky to get that ball back and get 2 points there for Gunter.
Gunter takes it up strong. Doesn't quite get the slam, but those 2 points will be good enough for Wheaton to start out this game.
And that's one thing that I love about Aston Francis. He made a mistake on defense. They didn't get penalized for it, but he came down and he helped him out on offense.
Pick out to Sorensen. He's a proven shooter. No good. Another offensive board for North Central. The shot rims out for number 30, Capoletti.
North Central showing they're not afraid to shoot from deep. 3 threes already here in the first 2 minutes of play.
Gunter finds Eichelberger over to Ricky Samuelson. Drives to his left, steps back. Back iron, no good. Sorensen has the board. Now up to Koth. Outside to Chang. To number 30, Capoletti. Back to Chang again, looking for a screen. Passes out to Phipps. Phipps going to his right. And a steal by Aston Francis. He'll take it up on his own, and it's good. 4-0 Thunder on the Cardinal. Here's Koth on the left wing, trying to find Sorensen. Eichelberger on that backside, Casey.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job keeping eyes on him, too. You see Ricky Samuelson, when he's in the middle of the key, he's always got 2 eyes on Sorensen.
Phipps with the shot, no good. Another offensive board for Capoletti, and he's fouled. Trying that reverse layup. Great hustle from Capoletti.
Yeah, really good hustle. You see he comes from, this is going to be the replay of Aston Francis here, getting rise right around Koth. Good finish there, but on that last one, you saw that Capoletti came from the perimeter. It came all the way out from outside. Just a lapse in boxing out, probably because of the attention that's being paid to keeping Sorensen off the boards. You'll see here, he came from the corner there and just got right around his man. I believe Ricky Samuelson was guarding him, but Ricky was, working with Eichelberger to try to get Koth out of there, get Sorensen out of there, and just too much to handle on the boards. 4-2 now with those 2 free throws.
Cappelletti with 3 offensive boards so far in these first, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Turnover from Aston Francis. Phipps is bringing it up now. Finds Cappelletti on the wing. Now to Chang. He's wide open. Drives to the free throw line. Will shoot, and it's good.
Yeah, that's just too open. That's a really good offensive play there by North Central. Get the steal, get down the floor, take advantage of defensive mismatches. Wheaton's got to limit that.
North Central firing back quickly, tying the score at 4-4. Kobe Eichelberger shoot a 3 from the corner, and it's good. Cappelletti did not respect that shot at all. Eichelberger makes him pay. Down to Sorensen. He's got one-on-one. Now he's being triple teamed. Tries to go up, and it'll be a foul called. I believe it'll be on Gunter.
And this is just good offense by North Central to get the ball down there. You see there's 4 guys there on the key because they know that Sorensen is the guy for them, and that's collapsing. So what North Central is going to do, if they're smart, is they're going to keep feeding Sorensen like that, and then when all 4 guys collapse, they're going to kick. And they're a team that shoots, it's not a great percentage. They're shooting 33% from deep, 31, something like that. And that's enough to punish you. You'll see that Spencer Peterson's coming in now. He'll probably take a crack at Sorensen. But they've got to do a better job at getting the ball out of Sorensen's hands, or they're going to pay when Sorensen starts kicking the ball out.
Spencer Peterson working his way early into this game. Hasn't seen a ton of time coming off the football season. Aston Francis closely guarded by Koth. Samuelson into the lane, kicks to Peters. Kicks out to Peterson, who sets his feet, fires. It's no good, rebounded by Sorensen. Chang up top, over to Koth. Now Sorensen, hounded by Gunter. Cappelletti up top. Here's Chang driving left. Nice up and under move. Couldn't quite get the roll though. And Gunter has the board to Peters up the middle.
That was a good possession of defense by the Thunder. This would be a big bucket here, but to no avail for the turnover.
Phipps is going to try to take it on Gunter. Couldn't finish it. Great defense by Gunter just to affect the shot there. There's Peterson underneath, and he hits. Excellent position by Peterson. Made sure he was right place, right time. Here's Koth driving to his left, stops, turns, and he hits.
It's a good move right there, and it's just taking advantage of the, there's just big bodies in the middle, and the Thunder are really struggling to get around these well-set screens, and that was another example of just taking advantage of, the Thunder are trailing on the Cardinals' hips.
Luke Peters posting up on Phipps. Kicks down to Gunter, going on Sorensen, does a little fadeaway move, but he took an extra step.
Great defense by Sorensen. The big man knows how important he is to this team, and he's just standing there straight up. I am not getting in foul trouble, says Sorensen, and it was good defense as Gunter will head to the bench. It looks like Spencer Peterson will take a crack at guarding the big man. This is a guy who just started learning this defense, so a big assignment for him early in his basketball career.
Here comes Chang, kicks out to Sorensen. Now to Chang again. Drives baseline, nowhere to go, I'm legging on him. Sorensen just goes right through Kobe Eichelberger, I believe.
Yeah, that nice back door there by Sorensen, just getting Peterson not snapping his head quite quickly enough.
Aston Francis for 3. That quick release, silky smooth shot we've gotten so used to seeing.
Yeah, he's good for that. He's good for the nice quick responses. That's a dagger in the heart of the Cardinals. And they'll turn the ball over and give it back to Wheaton as Zach Quam comes in. See, they're just such a quick release. The fadeaway right in front of their bench.
And as a smaller player, it seems like as he developed his shot, he realized, I'm going to have to lean back a little bit, almost naturally. I mean, that time he definitely did fade away a little bit more, but even when he's open, it seems like he's leaning back a bit, trying to shoot over taller defenders.
Sure, and that's why he's developed a shot from 5 feet beyond the arc, too, because that's the only place he's open.
And one for Aston Francis. He'll get one more. I'm not sure you could tell me that's an and one. It looked like on the floor as the foul was made. About by the free throw line, but
yeah, they gave him the continuation. That might be a little bit of home court refereeing, but the team in white will take it as they lead here by 4 now with 13-17 to play.
Aston Francis, rare miss from the line, 78% on the year. Wheaton team shooting free throws so far this year, not too great, 67%. We talked about that in our last broadcast of the girls game, Casey.
Yeah, I've grown tired of talking about the free throw troubles on this Wheaton team. It's just something that to me is unacceptable.
We have a travel call on Koth. It's going to go the other way to the Thunder. The chance to extend their league into the game is Zach Quam, the junior. No seniors on this Wheaton squad. Quam, one of the captains and leaders.
You see also Jay Spencer has entered the game after missing about or at least a game with his injury, but he'll guard Sorensen now. So that's 3 looks at Sorensen, a tall, lanky guy, a stronger guy in Spencer Peterson, and a feisty guy in Trevor Gunter. He'll have to go through 3 different looks to get on the board tonight.
Aston Francis trying to create his own shot, but was picked off by Erwin Henry. Passes to Sorensen now. Jay Spencer is on him. Henry takes a shot at the elbow, no good. Rebound by Eichelberger, who skied for that one. Has Jay underneath, he'll put it in. Nice reverse. Thought he might go up for the jam, didn't quite have it. That's a timeout from North Central, Coach Todd Raridan.
Really good vision there by Quam to see Jay Spencer streaking down the sidelines. One of the things that you'll see about this Wheaton team is they love to push the ball in transition, and North Central also loves to push the ball in transition. Obviously they want to work through Sorensen, but Sorensen's a 6'8" that can run the floor, and that's pretty rare in D3 to have an athletic 6'8" like Jay Spencer, like a Sorensen, you know, running the floor. So that's two big players on this team that are an asset in a very similar way, and it's going to be interesting to see which team utilizes them better. We saw Wheaton played Milliken on Saturday, and Milliken had a dominant post player, but they were unable to feed him because the guard play wasn't sufficient. They could not get the ball to their big man. Here tonight, we're seeing North Central is doing a much better job of getting the ball to Sorensen, so it should be a very, very tight game here in King Arena tonight.
Here's Capoletti on the wing. Passes to number 22, Chambers. Stolen by Malagan. He's running the break on his own. Take it into Henry. No good. It's going to stay on the Thunder side.
Pretty good transition defense here by Henry, trying not to foul, got his body out of the way. That's a tough shot from Malagan, fading to his left. Good no-foul defense there, and Wheaton will get the ball into their own basket.
Peters looking for Samuelson on the screen, driving to his left, kicks out to Malagan. Now the skip pass to Kobe Eichelberger again. No good. We have a foul on Jay Spencer, his first.
He's drawing short iron there, and Sorensen, just such a big body, getting good position on Spencer, draws the over the back. Luckily, Wheaton's got three at least guys who are capable of guarding Sorensen. After Sorensen, there seems to be a pretty significant drop-off now with Raridan as far as height is concerned. So that's something that North Central is going to want to watch, is trying to keep their big men out of foul trouble.
Here's Koth trying to find position. Sorensen tipped it. Malagan comes down with it. Now Peters up to Eichelberger, but tipped by number 2 Koth, coming the other way with Henry now. The 3 is taken by number 22, Nick Chambers, and it's good.
That was a pretty shot. That's a tough one to hit in transition. You got all your momentum going forward. Good job stopping, getting his balance. Pretty shot there with the follow through and 3.
A big shot for North Central as Jay Spencer will fancy a 3. He'll hit it. Jay Spencer made the most of his 3s so far this year. He's 5 of 9 from three-point land now.
Not something he does often, but when he does, he's feeling it.
Like you said about Sorensen, usually takes it only when he's wide open. Ball down to Sorensen, quickly doubled. Couldn't quite finish.
Jay Spencer wanted a foul there. I see his argument is Sorensen will stay out of foul trouble for a little bit longer.
Yeah, Sorensen sure looked like he hooked Jay Spencer going in, trying to get that tip back. He's going to have to be careful. Needs to keep his head in the game now, guarding a really great player underneath. Ball to Capoletti. He'll drive baseline. No good. He'll go up again. He's fouled down low. We'll have 2 more free throws.
He's just one of those guys that's a sneaky good athlete. I mean, he jumped, landed, and jumped again, and still probably got 25 inches, off the ground. That was a really impressive athletic move, couple of moves there by Capoletti, and gets him to the free throw line for 2.
Capoletti misses his first free throw. Now 2 of 4 on the day.
Wheaton will switch back to their starting lineup as Sorensen takes his first break here for the night. Subbing in for him is Jack Bronek, the sophomore from St. Charles, Illinois, looking to hold down the paint while Sorensen gets likely just precious seconds or minutes of rest.
Chang also checks in for Capoletti. And speak to how much better it's been for the Thunder side this year as they've been able to go deeper and deeper into their bench compared to last year. Already 4 men deep in 10 minutes of this game.
And they haven't even played a guy who was a significant minute getter and a starter at the beginning of the year in Reagan Jones. I mean, they've got 10 men deep at the CCIW level, no problem, and it's been a huge asset.
Aston Francis missing a 3 from Carroll Stream. Now the ball with Henry. Henry again shoots a 3. It's good. This time Aston Francis more in his face.
Yeah, Nick Chambers, a quick jump shot there, able to hit it. That was a tough one with Aston Francis right there.
Gunter, all kinds of space.
Yeah, I think the scouting report probably doesn't have him much as a three-point shooter.
Gunter with the offensive board.
But he can do that. If you can leave him open on the three-point line, you cannot leave him open on the block. 2 easy points for Gunter.
And Peters brings so much help into that driving game. Not a ton of guys on this team that can get to the rim on their own, but Peters one of those guys who gets into the lane and kicks it out so often.
And that's the thing, he's such a good passer. When he gets into the lane, he's got good vision. He sees people.
Oh, Phipps slaps it away from Francis. Now the kick out to Chang, who'll shoot a 3. No good. Peters skies for it.
That's a big miss for the Thunder. That would have been a huge 3 for the Cardinals. A little bit upsetting probably for Chang that he missed that one, a wide open look.
Thunder still holding on to a 6-point lead.
Yeah.
They've got Aston Francis on the travel as he was not quite able to get the shot up in time.
Just a little out of control there, it looked like. He just really wanted to shoot. I think he also kind of thought at the last second, oh, I'm not going to be able to get it up. Maybe I should try to give it to Trevor Gunter, who wasn't open, and that was just a rush play. He had plenty of time on the shot clock. I'd like to see him pull it back out and run something before we, drive into the lane, all guns a-blazing.
Chang up top over the Chambers. He'll shoot another 3. No good. This time, they're going to get Bronek on the over-the-back call. I thought they could have called that on Peters the time before.
Chambers, a deadly shooter. That's got to be something that the Thunder know about him, shooting 40+% on the season. A very, very impressive from deep, and he'll head to the bench as Sorensen and Koth come back into the game. Sorensen, again, I think he only got about a minute's rest there, so a guy who's going to play a lot of minutes, especially in the absence of Raritan.
Koth playing aggressively on Aston Francis is going to get hit with the foul call. The other scouting report we're clearly seeing is guard Aston Francis across half court.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what you're going to get when you're shooting from as deep as he is. You're as dynamic of a scorer. He's leading the CCIW in points. He's going to get all attention on him. Oh.
It was definitely a close one. Looked like Luke Peters took the 2 steps he was given, but might have hopped in between 2 players, which is why he might have got the travel.
Yeah, you can read Coach Shower's lips. Yes, it is. Pass the ball. Looking to get the ball kind of moving around, trying to get Spencer Peterson and Gunter and Samuelson involved in the game. Those 2 possessions were pretty much all Francis and Peters.
A lot of one-touch pass and shoot for the Thunder side. Gets it down to Sorensen now. He's got one-on-one on the block. kicks it out to Chang. He'll shoot a 3. No good. Sorensen with the board. We've got a foul, and Luke Peters just reached over a little bit. Not sure I agree with that call. We'll see here on the replay.
Well, it's just, I mean, it's a testament to how good Sorensen is. Before I saw that replay, I was gonna say that's unacceptable. You had 4 guys on him. They got a wide open 3 because you had 4 guys on him, and then he still gets the rebound. But when I looked at it, I saw Gunter was giving it everything he had. He was working hard like he always does. Sorensen's just bigger and stronger. And you saw he kind of just shoved him out of the way. It wasn't a foul. He didn't do anything wrong. He's just a big dude, and that's why the Thunder have really had to put anywhere from 2 to 3 guys on him to try to minimize his effectiveness in this game. And even still, he's already got 5 points, 1 for 4 on the day. Not even a great day for him.
Phipps picks Peters' pocket. Henry will take it in the lane, gets it to Sorensen, who turns to his right. No good. Rebounded by Henry, goes up, and it's good.
Thunder are getting wrecked on the boards right now. 12-5 is the board differential. They come in losing in the board battle by 0.7 rebounds per game, and they're getting shellacked here early in the first 14 or so minutes of this game.
Samuelson misses for 3. Koth now forcing the issue down the center. Kicks to Sorensen. He'll shoot a 3. No good. Sorensen struggling to get into this game offensively, though. Just 5 points so far. That's more than I expected. He's just missed a lot of shots from the field, has gotten to the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Koth driving left. He'll put up the floater, no good. Aston Francis with the rebound.
A lot of unnecessarily tough shots that the Cardinals are taking. They have more time to set their feet and get good shots up. They're just shooting a lot of floaters because they're open, but they're going to get those shots.
Spencer Peterson wanted to hit that one, get some respect from that 3-point arc that he does shoot well from. Couldn't hit there. Here's Henry to Chang. Now to Koth, down to Sorensen. Spencer Peterson looked like he met him pretty well, but might have moved a little bit too much into that turn.
Yeah, and that's the new point of emphasis. It's a displacement rule. There's obviously no hand contact there, but he displaced Sorensen. Sorensen had position with 1 foot on the block. Peterson bumped him, and Peterson's a pretty big body, displaced him. That's the lingo that the officials are using in their points of emphasis, and when you displace a guy, it's a foul automatically. That's a good call by the referee under the basket.
Matt Capoletti into the game for Jaquan Phipps. Passes down to Sorensen, now out to Chang. Top to Chang again. Chang finds the back cutter, Capoletti, and he'll hit.
Really good job there offensively by the Cardinals, taking advantage of the fact that the rotations down low are all focused on keeping a body on Sorensen at all time. That time Eichelberger got stuck on Sorensen, unable to cover his man on the back door.
Capoletti always finding himself around the rim, whether it's a board or something else. That's going to be an easy charge call on Kobe Eichelberger as you see Henry get great position here.
I really like the way the Cardinals are playing. I love me a good charge, and that is just a textbook charge right there. Erwin Henry, the normal starter, not getting the nod tonight for reasons unknown to us. We're Wheaton College students, so we don't know the specifics of what's going on over there in North Central, but coming out with a couple threes and a charge call there, playing well here in this first half.
I do hope that doesn't dishearten Kobe Eichelberger from driving in the future in the game, because he is a great driver when he does.
Absolutely.
Samuelson finds Malagan. He'll take it up. It's blocked. Sent back by Chang. Skies up. It's number 11, the 6'3" man. Down to Sorensen, the lob pass. Defensive rotation too slow there from Peters.
Yeah, another fast break thing where they get the ball to Sorensen before the Thunder really have an opportunity to get their bearings on who's supposed to be in help defense.
And look up real fast. It's 8-0 run for the North Central Cardinal. Francis takes it in, flips it up, gets the spin with the right hand. And that is something they needed to silence that Cardinal bench.
It's amazing that that ball went in. I could have told you from the second that Sorensen scored that Aston Francis was going to shoot the ball when he got it, and he still managed to score. I think everybody in the gym knew he was going to shoot.
Chang hits a 3.
A dagger there by Chang. Punches being exchanged here in the first half. Right hook, uppercut, haymaker. Who will throw the next one?
By your logic, it's Aston Francis, as you've seen so often. He's got the ball now on Koth. Drives to his right. Doesn't find space, fades away, and he'll get the roll off the front iron. Impressive shot, shooter's touch there. Gets it down to Sorensen now. Malagan too small, but plays great defense, gets up in his face and doesn't allow Sorensen to extend with that ball. Francis, no good.
Really tough to rein in a player like that. He's so dynamic. It's such a good scorer, but he's got to get his other players involved.
Here's Henry. Couldn't make that shot. Sorensen going to his right. Now with his left hand. No good. Gunter grabs the board. 3:10 left in this half. And Coach Schauer wants a timeout.
Yeah, the last 3 possessions there for the Thunder, just all Aston Francis. Literally no one else touched the ball. Such a good scorer. I mean, he accounted for 4 points single-handedly. But one has to wonder, you know, could you get those shots after passing the ball around for a little while? And I think that's probably what a lot of the Thunder faithful would like to see was, you're a great scorer, but let's move the ball around. And on the other side, Sorensen, obviously their best player, he is fading away way too much. He has got to go to the rim. There's a difference between going up strong and going to the rim. He's going up strong in that he's jumping up, he's gathering himself, he's doing everything right, but he's not going into the contact. The contact is towards the rim. Go towards the rim. Try to dunk the ball. You're 6'8". Try to get at the rim every single time you shoot the ball, and he will get, I think he'd have 3 more sets of free throws in this game if he was just jumping at the rim.
And it does seem like Sorensen does favor that right hook over the left. I think that was the first time in the game we saw that left hook. Couldn't get it to go. Can't get too many of his hooks to go so far in this game. Ball down to Francis. He's doubled. Goes with the right hook. No good. Rebound by Bronick. Here's Henry. He's going to reset it. Bronick sets him a screen. Driving to his left. He'll take it up, and it's good.
A lot of dribbling there, but finally found his way around some screens. Good screen by Bronick, able to get his way to the basket. Is Erwin Henry.
29-27, North Central back up. Ricky Samuelson working post position, will go to his right. Can't hit. Henry down with the board.
Wheaton needs a big stop here.
Jaquan Phipps finds a screen. Kicks out to Henry. Now to Chang. Finds Koth. He'll take a jumper from the elbow and he'll hit it.
That's too open. It's both the fault of Jay Spencer for not hedging that hard enough, but it's also the fault of Aston Francis for not getting over the screen. All in all, it was just a defensive lapse, and that was a big possession that they needed a stop on. They didn't get it because 2 players didn't fulfill their defensive assignments.
Jay Spencer finds Samuelson up top. Now over to Malagan. He'll shoot a 3, and that's good. We see a lot of North Central defenders sagging off these Wheaton three-point shooters, and they'll hit.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about a lapse in defense right there. The Wheaton Thunder, if they get going from the three-point line, they are deadly. And Malagan is not the least of the shooters on this team. Interesting that they thought they could leave him open from out there.
Malagan with the steal. He's going to run the break on his own against Chang. Goes up with his right hand. We've got a foul call on Chang. Malagan going to the line.
Second time in a row, Chang has challenged Malagan successfully on a fast break. This time drawing the foul is Malagan. Chang is upset about it. Malagan did a good job jumping with his body towards Chang, initiating some of that contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. In other news for the Wheaton Thunder fans, as we watch the three-pointer here by Malagan, just wide open, the Wheaton Thunder women at North Park in Chicago tonight, winning 41-8. McDaniels with 8 points. Kelly Lawson with a team-leading 14 as they are 3 minutes left in the second quarter over there. All Thunder in Chicago. Here in King Arena, a different story as the Thunder are up 1 in a nail-biter game that seems like it'll go all the way to the end.
Good response from the Wheaton women coming off that Milliken game that they just played. And also we have Augustana 30 to Elmhurst 25, and Carroll 30 to Carthage 21. Keep you posted on all those games as Chang hits a 3, celebrates down the court.
A huge hit there for the Cardinals as Jay Spencer looks to answer.
No good, and Chang will bring it back down.
I like that shot though. That's a 2-for-1 kind of thing. Jay Spencer trying to get 3 points on the board. They'll get the ball back with a 10-second differential here. Chang will try to get a good shot up.
Chang going to take the shot clock at 13 down even further. They now start to run their offense over to Henry. Gets a screen from Bronick, goes to his left, and they call a travel on him.
Driving into traffic here. Gets a good little move there with his right hand. I'm not sure where he got the travel, but a travel it shall be. And the Thunder will have 15 seconds to either tie this ball game up or take the lead headed into the locker room.
Some full court pressure here from North Central, just trying to disrupt the offensive flow a bit as Jaquan Phipps is up on Peters. Already picked Peters' pocket earlier in this game. Kicks out to Francis. Francis dribbles, fires. Couldn't get it to go. A fight for the ball on the ground, and that is the end of the half. A little bit of talking at the end there. Jay Spencer walks away. Capital A walks away. Nothing doing there. But that'll be it for the end of this first half. North Central 34, Wheaton 32. We're going to join you in about 14 minutes after this break.
moment I stepped onto campus for the first time, one thing I couldn't help but notice was how numerous the roles were here that contributed to the success of this special place. Asking the question of what service means at Wheaton College yields no straightforward answer. Service at Wheaton is dynamic. Service at Wheaton means something unique and different to every person in every role on this beautiful campus we all call home.
I serve by using my God-given talents to glorify Christ, pushing my body on the soccer field and my mind in the classroom.
This year I served by welcoming the new students to Wheaton College. We want them to know that we care about them, and we want them to live well when they're at Wheaton.
I serve Wheaton College by making sure students' living conditions are well kept and encourage a positive atmosphere within the dorm.
I serve by maintaining a safe and orderly environment here at Wheaton College and caring for this awesome community.
Service for me means leading students in developing their minds and teaching them to communicate effectively in the world today.
I serve in Young Life, which is a ministry based completely on relationship. My desire is to walk alongside high school kids, to reveal to them the goodness of life that is possible only through Jesus Christ.
Service to me is providing guidance and a listening ear to ensure that students have an enjoyable entry here into Wheaton's community.
I serve by representing the student body of Wheaton College and making decisions that will benefit a diverse community.
Hey y'all, I serve by ensuring Wheaton College is fed and well nourished so that they're ready to take on their studies and other activities.
Service to me means challenging 120 young men every year to become everything God wanted them to be, to excel in the classroom, and to become the best football player they possibly can be out here every Saturday afternoon.
Для меня служение – это учеба в другой стране и жизнь в другой культуре, с новыми друзьями как всю жизнь.
Service for me is making sure Wheaton College is always looking at its best.
I serve by doing what a president can do to nurture the spiritual vitality and maintain the theological orthodoxy and promote the academic excellence of Wheaton College.
Service for me is getting involved with ministries here at Wheaton that are designed to reach out to the community here in the Chicago area.
I serve
for Christ
and His kingdom.
I believe you could change the atmosphere with your love. I believe you could change a heart with your love. Lord, come change over the atmosphere. Lord, come change our hearts with love. Heaven come down like a rain of thunder over the city, over this town. Heaven come down like a rain of thunder over the city, over this town. The Spirit and the bride say, come. Oh, 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 oh. The Spirit and the bride say, come. Oh, 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 thunder over the city, over this town.
We are back for our 65 reunion.
Class of 1955.
Class years 1965.
1985.
85.
Diane and I were roommates our sophomore year.
I sang in the men's glee club my freshman year.
I was in the first ROTC class that was commissioned in June 6th of 1955.
It's very interesting just chatting with any classmate, how quickly you come up with a connection, either someone that you know, and then just to review memories. I think that's one of the fun things about being here now and that we didn't know back then. Right, classmates.
We were in each other's wedding.
Yeah, we were in
right
each
after,
other's wedding.
I waited 3 weeks after graduation to get married. How long?
The next year.
Yeah.
I remember when I was in chapel, when Dr. Edmond had his detached retinas. He was the president, and he had bilateral detached retinas, and he had to have his both eyes covered for a month. So after being, blinded for a month with these patches, he came, and it was one of the first days he had these patches off, and he preached on a verse in Isaiah. I think it's Isaiah 61, and it basically went, "Never doubt in the darkness what God has shown you in the light." And it was such a dramatic thing given what he had come from. And so that's one of the chapel memories, among others, But that's one that I think about often.
I look back, I'm sure you do, grateful for our time here. And grateful for the friends we've made and the contacts, and now to get their stories. It's always such an encouragement, isn't it?
Yeah, for us, Wheaton is a big family, and we belong to it, and that's really special.
Good evening and welcome back to King Arena, the show brought to you by WTSN and Sunrise Productions. This matchup, CCIW men's matchup between the Wheaton Thunder and the North Central Cardinal. So far the difference that we saw over the break, Casey, was offensive rebounds, 9 for the Cardinal and then 2 for the Thunder.
Yeah, and it's been something that's pretty much been not all Sorensen. It's been a huge communication by Capoletti, some by Phipps and Chambers, and everybody's been involved on the Cardinals. The Thunder really need to do a better job of controlling that. They're lucky that North Central shooting 10% below their season average from the field. They're shooting just over 33% from 2, whereas normally they average right around 46. So that's something that Wheaton needs to get under control is the boards. Also, the turnovers have been rampant. They're on pace for 24 turnovers in this game. So they need to take care of the ball and limit North Central to 1 possession, and they could be in it. Honestly, with 12 turnovers and losing the offensive board margin like that, 9 offensive boards, they're lucky to be in a 2-point game, if you ask me.
In the first half, Casey, we saw Wheaton get a little stagnant on offense, going with that one-pass shoot. offense, sometimes Francis, sometimes Peters. Coach Schauer urging his players to pass more. What do you think they should do to get into that rhythm?
Yeah, and they have offensive sets and things like that. They've just got to know that Aston Francis can score the ball pretty much whenever he wants, and I mean whenever he wants. So there's no need for him to force a shot up after, with 25 seconds left on the shot clock when he could do the same shot with 7 seconds left on the shot clock. Either way, he could score because he's that good. But if you just wait for those tougher shots, you get a chance to get a layup. And layups are a higher percentage than, as good as Aston is, layups are a higher percentage than him fading away or, something like that from, as you said, from Carroll Stream. So I think they're going to look to control the ball for longer possessions and control the boards in this half. If you're the Cardinals, I think you're looking to continue to control the boards and continue to force turnovers and then just start to make shots. I think the game plan looks really good if you're North Central. Just start to make twos and you'll be good.
Underway in the second half now as Francis brings the ball up the court on Koth. He's driving to his right, looking for that shot. Kicks out to Peters, wide open three, and no good. Rebound by Capoletti.
I really like that look by Francis, though. That's what I'm talking about. If you kick the ball out, you move it around. Wide open shot for Peters there, just unable to connect.
Peters hasn't taken too many threes on the year, but 4 of 6 now on the year from three-point land. Sorensen is fouled as he took it up with the left hand. He'll get 2 shots. Or it appears they're going to call it on the ground.
Good dive there by Sorensen going right to the basket. Surprised he didn't get that on his way up. Lucky break there for the Thunder as the Cardinals will take it out of bounds.
Sure looked like he was gathering himself on the way to the rim. Got a sub into the game. It's Spencer Peterson for Kobe Eichelberger. Eichelberger's only been in this half for 27 seconds.
3 fouls now on him. Coach Schauer not taking any chances with one of his better post players. And Sorensen will take advantage right away and make it a 4-point lead.
Here's Gunter, now to Peters. Samuelson will go up, passes to Gunter. He's got Chang on him, who's smaller. Finishes over Sorensen, though. Fantastic move to cut it to a 2-point lead.
Very good finish there with the high arcing hook shot from an undersized Gunter. That's an impressive move for number 5.
Here's Jaquan Phipps up top. Trying to get it to Sorensen, but Gunter fronting. And you saw Samuelson on the backside. Here's Koth up and under from the free throw line, in and out. Rebounded by Peters.
That's another one where Koth just needs to gather himself a little more. He was wide open after that fake. Just get your feet under you, and that's an easy shot.
Samuelson with a great take to the rim. That's what we get accustomed to see him doing. Lulling guys to sleep for most of the game and then finding that spot where he accelerates to the rim.
Yeah, that was a really nice take, and you're right. He has gotten better at just not being a shooter. He's grown to be much more this year, and he's an asset to this team.
Sorensen going to work on Gunter. He'll go and fade to his left side. Back iron, no good. Samuelson driving left again. Now Peters to the left. Got a block call on Phipps. Looks like he might have been there on that baseline.
Yeah, I'll say that. That's a bad call. Phipps beats him to the spot right there. That's a legal offensive guarding position. I think you call that out of bounds Cardinal ball. I'll say it. It's controversial. I know you're not supposed to do that. I just did it.
Always honesty from my color man, Casey Balickian. Aston Francis driving right will stop and pop. Hung in the air off the board, and it goes in. How many players do you see even attempt that shot, let alone make it?
It's just a testament to how hard he works. I mean, you see him in here every day working on different shots, and that's just a very, very skilled offensive player.
Capoletti up top, gets down to Sorensen, high-low passing. He's going to go under, can't finish. Again, rebound by Jay.
Thunder looking to extend their lead here as they've got a chance to take it to 4 points for the first time in a while.
Ricky Samuelson driving right out to Spencer. Jumper air balls, goes out of bounds. Phipps knocked it out. It'll stay with the Thunder. Shot clock did not reset. Did not hit the rim. Only 7 seconds left for the Thunder in this possession. Peterson looks for the floater, and it will work out as a pass to Luke Peters on the other side of the rim.
Little alley-oop action, D3 style.
Capoletti driving to his left, spins, stops and pops, and it's good. Great individual effort there from Capoletti.
A lot of stagnant, no movement here from the Thunder. Gotta get more dynamic. Set screens, do something. Spencer Peterson's been in the corner the whole time.
Ricky Samuelson takes a forced shot. It's off the back iron. Jay Spencer is going to save it. Finally falls to Chang. North Central working out of this corner. Up with it is Phipps. Takes it strong on that flip.
A called play there, I think. A pick and slip there by Phipps. Really good finish there with his left hand from the right side.
Reagan Jones walking to the scorer's table. He'll sit next to Henry. Reagan Jones checking in for the first time in this game. Peterson going to work on Sorensen, or Capoletti rather. Almost had the finish. He's fouled.
It's a good, strong move there. Wish he would go up with his left hand here, but for a freshman, that's a very good take, a very confident take for a guy who's not seen a ton of minutes leading up to this week, and he's starting to get a lot more. He's the first guy off the bench, especially with this, this North Central team that's big. He's been very helpful, and he'll connect for his, I believe, his first points of the night.
Certainly a bright future for Spencer Peterson. Yeah. One of the few guys on this Thunder roster that has fantastic size. We see a lot of height. You talk about a guy who's about 230 out there on the court.
And I misspoke. That was his third point of the night. He did connect earlier on a layup, and he'll miss there as Reagan Jones still unable to check in for his first time tonight.
Sorensen isolating Jay Spencer. We've got a foul on Jay. Didn't look like he did too much. Might have had the hands on him.
And that's 3 on Jay Spencer now, as Gunter will check back in. He's only got 1. Done a good job of staying out of foul trouble.
Here's Henry on the left side. Finds Koth up top for 3. He'll fire. Back iron, no good. But again, Capoletti fighting for that board. It's going to stay with the Cardinals down here as Jones tipped it out.
Jones doing a good job getting mixed up there. A little bit over-aggressive. Might have even gotten away with a foul there. But I don't blame the kid sitting on the bench, a former starter, trying to get in and have a difference quickly.
Capoletti definitely hit on the hand there, trying to draw a foul call. Couldn't get it. Now Jones with the ball for the first time in this game. Aston Francis trying to get open, but Koth on him, falls for the pump fake. Now he's in the lane, and Sorensen just gather that up, that block shot. Here's Chang, he'll shoot a 3 on the transition and hit. Big shot, takes the lead. North Central up 43-41 on the Thunder.
Tough pass there, really good hit by Chang. Again in fast break, on the move. Francis gets away with a travel there. And this is where I'm okay with Aston Francis just taking it himself. Later in the shot clock.
Finds a good pass to Peters. Rebounded by Gunter on the other side, puts it in. Seen a lot more offensive boards from the Thunder in this half so far.
Yeah. Winning the second half rebound battle by 3, went down into the halftime by 5, now only down by 2.
Kick out to Sorensen, he'll shoot a 3 off the front iron. Luke Peters now coming the other way. He's gonna take it strong to the rack, passes off to Gunter, who goes up No good. Now the Cardinals running some fast break. Capillet takes it up and one. He's going to get an extra free throw on top of those 2 points.
Yeah, that's a big foul call there. You can see Coach Schauer is livid that call was called on the other end and not on his end. Might have a point there as it was a little bit ticky-tack. And that'll be the 3rd foul on Jay Spencer, or excuse me, that'll be on Reagan Jones, I believe. They haven't, yeah, that was on Reagan Jones, sorry. They'll call a timeout, and this is explicitly a, hey, I'd like to yell at the referee's timeout for Coach Schauer. He won't set foot in that huddle. He's going to make his case known. In other news for the Wheaton Thunder, Chantel Meacham, the senior from Champaign, Illinois, has just broken the single season 3-point record I believe in the second half in Chicago at North Park, where they are winning by a hefty amount. She has, I believe, 207 3-pointers in her career. A very, very accomplished young lady here in her 4 years on a team that's been very good, playing with the likes of Katie McDaniels, Ellie Zeller, Hannah Considine, and more, as they have had a very good team and look to go deep into the playoffs this year. They've been ranked all year, have been upset, unfortunately, recently in the playoffs, but have all the makings of an Elite 8 team this year.
No doubt about it. Chantel Meacham breaking that record of Rachel Horgan, class of 2001. Obviously record 206, she now is 207. In that game, she's 3 of 3 from behind the 3-point line. Only 19 minutes played in that game. Katie McDaniels, 20 minutes. Some of the other stats from that game, Katie McDaniels has 12 points. See, Kelly Lawson with 17 points, who has been struggling of late. Good sign to see her putting the ball in the basket for them. Around the CCIW, we have Carroll, 43, Carthage, 39 in a closely contested game. And Capoletti is going to bring us back to action with his free throw. Couldn't grab the rebound. It's to Henry. Now Chang's going to reset. Chance to make this a 2-possession game for North Central. Chang in the corner, trying to find Sorensen. Now up to Capoletti. He'll shoot a 3. No good. Malagan bringing it down. Francis driving to his left, stops, pops. No good. Rebounded by Henry. Into the game is also Chambers, as he's got the ball now. Chang trying to get to Sorensen. Quickly Gunter fronts him. Kick out to Chambers. Now to Henry. Going to try to reset it with Chang. Now Capoletti. Pump fakes. Drives to his left. We've got a block from Reagan Jones. Capoletti wants the 3 again. No good. Here comes Peters.
Thunder there, lucky that ball didn't hit the rim on the North Central side. Shot clock ran down, and again, Aston Francis firing early.
Malagan, the heads-up play to throw it to his end of the court. Gunter's gonna win it. He's got numbers if he sees it. Kicks out to Malagan, who's open. He'll drive to his left, and is fouled by Capoletti. Good foul to not give up a layup that Malagan certainly had.
Yeah, and I think a really good defensive and into an offensive possession there for the Thunder. I mean, Malagan with the hustle play jumps right into North Central's play-by-play man. Gunter here saves it and has some numbers, loses his balance a little bit, finds Malagan on the outside part of the lane. Malagan draws the foul, and they'll get the ball under their own basket here with 11:47 to play, down 2. You can't overstate the importance of these possessions in the middle of the second half here. I mean, the momentum swing that could happen, a couple possessions here and there, this game could be over.
And for a Thunder team finding themselves down, as Ricky Samuelson can't hit that 3, finding themselves down, that was a huge catalyst.
Yeah, absolutely.
From Malagan for the Thunder.
Unfortunately unable to capitalize. Now they need a big stop here as the Cardinals look to extend their lead.
Koff down to Sorensen, one-on-one with Eichelberger, now doubled by Francis. He's hounded. can't get it away at all. He wants a foul, is livid. Passes over to Malagan, he'll put it in. It's other offensive plays like that that are also gonna get you going as a team. We're knotted at 45. And Casey Blicken, you can feel it in the building when Francis makes a pass like that. The magic is back.
Absolutely, and that's something that they needed, especially now that they're double teaming Sorensen. They're leaving people wide open. They need those catalysts so that if they give up open threes, it won't be completely demoralizing.
Henry had to fire one. Peterson gets the board. Ill-advised pass there. As it's fought, Henry wins it. He's gonna take it.
Yes,
gotta be an easy charge. Aston Francis stands his ground well.
There's nothing in the world better than a good charge. Let's just marvel. That's good. Aston Francis selling it, falling down, keeping his feet out of the circle. The circle that has ruined the game for every good charge taker like me. We're tied up at 45 after a couple minutes of very exciting basketball here in King Arena.
Peterson wide open for three. He'll hit it over Sorensen. Sorensen has left those bigs open all game. Just so happens that Peterson is one of the best three-point shooters of the Wheaton bigs. Sorensen thought about matching. Now will drive. Kicks it off his knee over to Chang. Couldn't get the three to go. Now Francis looking up. He's trying to find a pass. Here's Malagan. Has the lane open. Couldn't quite finish. I don't know if you could make an argument that was a foul on Phipps for sliding under.
Could also make an argument that Malagan traveled at the beginning there, so I think no harm, no foul.
Quite literally. Koth running off the screen. Sorensen's gonna pop a three. No good. Malagan hustling on Koth, knocks it out of bounds.
Malagan's had several pretty impressive hustle plays. I think that's why he's on the floor. He's not been particularly flashy offensively. He's got 9 points, a quiet 9 points and 4 rebounds, having himself a good game, but a lot of the contribution that he's made has been in hustle plays.
Have an offensive foul on Chang. It's like he was just establishing position, but we could not see his arm from this angle.
Yeah, lowered his shoulder a little bit there. That'll get you every time. Especially Ricky Samuelson did a good job standing his ground. Big couple possessions here. As I said, Wheaton scores here, or even worse for the Cardinals, hit a three, and they've got an uphill battle to fight.
Peterson thought about the three again. He's gonna go up strong, no good. Tips it out. In case for the second time when we broadcast the game, we nearly had the monitor knocked over again.
Hey, you know, I want the ball. The ball keeps coming at me. That's just how it works. Good players want the ball.
Every coach knows at the end of the game he wants to get it to his best player who wants the ball. And that is my man, Casey Balicki, and happy to be working with you. Koth urging strongly for someone to move. He's going to run off this break, and he's going to take it. No good. Great rebound by Bronick. Now trying to find someone, finds Koth. Koth driving to his left, goes into Francis, who strips. And he's fouled. Game getting a little chippy now.
Yeah.
A little bit of talk after that hard hustle play from Francis.
Yeah, Francis not afraid to put his body on the line there for sure. I think it's good that he's coming out. Had some words there, I believe it was with Koth. And he'll set to the bench to cool down a little bit, but they're going to need his offense coming into the end of this game here.
Koth also at the same time taking a break. Both coaches trying to calm down their players, trying to get them to hold on to the ball better as well. Here's Samuelson. Now Peters driving on the baseline, finds Jay. Off a North Central player's foot. It's going to stay with Wheaton. Just 10 seconds on the shot clock, though.
And as this game starts to wind down, you start to think about implications. Carroll's losing at Carthage by 3. If Carroll can pull that out and Wheaton pulls this out, they're tied for 3rd place in conference. If Carroll loses, it gets a little bit more sketchy for Wheaton. But if Carroll can win that game at Carthage, this is a huge game for Wheaton in the playoff picture.
Eichelberger working hard for that board. Noticed he had the fresh 30, so he kicked it out to Peters, who will reset. Bronek picking up Peters now. Leaves Spencer wide open. Kicks over to Eichelberger. He's going to drive to his right. He's going to sky, and he's fouled. Tell it's one of those that Bronek just wanted to get his arm up to the ball, but couldn't quite make it there.
And that's just Eichelberger being a little faster. That's the thing that Wheaton has over these other bigger teams is they're only 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". Kobe Eichelberger himself only 6'5" compared to 6'7" in Bronek. But Eichelberger's just faster, and so when Eichelberger stretches him out to the perimeter and then drives, it's really tough for a guy like Bronek to contest the 3 and stay in front of him without fouling. And Eichelberger made him pay there with a point from the line.
And as you know, Casey, it's all about that first step. That first step. Kobe has a great first step, getting right past the defender, and then the defender's on his shoulder, and he has to foul in that situation. Got a foul here on Ricky Samuelson. Just a little handsy, it looked like.
Aston Francis will re-enter after having cooled down, and so will Koth. Coach Reardon of the Cardinals saying, you're not going to get Francis in there without my best defender, Koth, on him. Koth has done a good job, very effective in stripping both Peters and Francis. Also getting into a little bit of a skirmish there with Francis before they both went to the bench.
Here's Koth driving, finds backcutter Capoletti, and we've seen that time and time again. That's a play we're used to seeing from the Thunder that hasn't been too present this game.
Yeah, looks like the Cardinals know how to guard it. They probably work on it in practice all the time.
Eichelberger kicks out to Peters. He'll shoot a 3. Rims out, no good. That's Capoletti with the board.
You need a big stop here if you're the Thunder. If you're the Cardinals, you've got to get a bucket on this basket. All the momentum can swing if you can take a lead here in the next minute.
Ball out to Chang. Driving in, he's going to stop and pop. He gets the and 1. Definitely was hit on the arm. Not sure if it was enough, but a great shot nonetheless in traffic.
Just a really controlled move. It looks like he's out of control. Looks like he's going to try to throw something up with his left hand and then just plants in the middle of the key. Gets all the Wheaton defenders rising. A little bit of a lack of discipline there by Peters to jump, and he just gets up high enough. Chang, a really disciplined, good basketball player, has a chance to put North Central back up by 1.
Yeah, after watching that replay, I think it was pretty obvious that Peters got his hand on that arm a lot lower than I expected to.
Yeah.
Here we have Phipps giving Peters fits again. Kicks over to Peterson. Do you think the reason we're not seeing too many back cuts from the Thunder is because they're not doing it, or they tried at the beginning, or what do you think, Casey?
They did try at the beginning, and they led to 2 turnovers. So I think it's not happening because it's not open. Wow.
What a shot from Aston Francis.
And that's what he has to do. That is a good player taking control of the game. Had he done that 25 seconds ago, I would have said on air, I think that was a bad shot. The exact same shot 25 seconds later is a great shot because he's capable of making this. And there's no reason to shoot that shot with 28 seconds left on the shot clock when you can make that shot with 2 seconds left. They tried to run their offense. They tried to get everybody involved. They tried to get a high percentage shot. North Central played good defense, so you give the ball to the best scorer in the league and you say, fine, we'll settle for you shooting a 3 because you're going to make it 40% of the time. And that is a really good weapon for the Thunder if they use it right. And Aston Francis has got to control his trigger finger. No matter how good he is, he's got to get his teammates involved and then take over like that. That's how Aston Francis has to play.
And Casey, you know, as a shooter, as the ball gets worked around more and more later and later into the shot clock, you feel more and more into a rhythm as you've touched it, passed it away, gotten it back again, passed it away. About that third, fourth time you get it back, you felt the ball, you know, enough. You're ready to put that back up.
Yeah, and it's a valuable thing for Aston as well, as he leads this team offensively pretty much every night. He's got 16 here tonight. The next highest scorer in the game is 14, Chang. And then after that, a bunch of single digits from everybody. So Aston again proving his worth as a scorer. But this one definitely not going to be one that is run away with. Something to note for Wheaton, they have not won a game by less than, I believe, 6 or 7 points was their biggest or their smallest victory. So all the close games they've played, they have come out with the short end of the stick. So hoping to reverse the tides there, come out with a tight win here against a crosstown rival.
Certainly a must win for the Thunder tonight. Ricky Samuelson handling. Now to Eichelberger. Peterson up top. He'll shoot another three, and it's good. He's feeling it now. That's 2 in a row.
And he's doing a lot of what Reagan Jones did at the beginning of the season. He's stretching Sorensen out. Get Sorensen away from the board so that your guys can get rebounds. And all of a sudden, the Thunder are up 5 with the ball.
You can feel the momentum building in King Arena for the Thunder side as we watch Peterson's three hit the front iron, get the bounce, go down. If you're North Central, do you need a stop yet, or what are you thinking here?
You always need a stop. There's never a moment in the game where you don't need a stop. But if I'm Coach Reardon, I'm thinking that these are, I mean, every minute is important, but you've got to go into the 3-ish minute mark tied with this team, or in their own arena, they're going to beat you.
Peterson had a heat check. It was knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Thunder. Say it was knocked out by Henry. Kobe Eichelberger to take the throw-in. Turnover to Phipps. Now Henry running the break. Francis eyeing a steal if he could get it. North Central slowly moving the ball around. Oh, Chang tried to pass it to Henry, who's a bit open, but at the same time, just an ill-advised pass nonetheless.
Yeah, and you can see some visible frustration from Chang there, probably with himself. Jump pass not advised.
Ball to Francis now, 14 on the shot clock. He's fouled with an armbar by Phipps.
And that'll be 1-1 for one of the better shooters in this team in White, a team that is not characteristically great from the free throw line, shooting just 57.1% in this game, which I don't have to tell you fans out there is abysmal. Aston Francis, however, shooting 78% on the season, definitely one of the highlights from the line for this team.
This is the front end of those free throws, and now Chang has a chance to redeem himself after that turnover. Here's Sorensen up top. Cappelletti tried a back cut, couldn't find him open. Now Phipps driving left. Gets it down to Sorensen. He's double teamed. 5 on the shot clock. He's gonna go up to his left. No good. Gets the board, puts it back up, and one. A strong move from Sorensen to get that ball back down and then up again.
Sorensen's having a very tough night here tonight. Normally averages 46% from the field. He's shooting 25%. Give some of that to Wheaton for the good defense they're playing, but also just give that to an off night. And he'll go here for that'll be his 12th point on the night. A low scoring night for the man who averages just shy of 16.
Much needed bucket from their star player to cut the game to 2 points. Peterson thought about another three, then thought better of it. Francis trying to make something happen. Kicks over to Peters. He's driving right. Kicks to Eichelberger, now driving right. He finds Samuelson on the back cut. Peterson looks back, shoots a three, and it's short. Francis able to gather. Eichelberger wide open. Drives right. Gets up to Sorensen. He's He was blocked by the combination of Sorensen and Capoletti. And that's going to stay with the Thunder.
So there, I think you've got a problem with the other four players on the floor. Normally, I'm like, Aston, pass the ball. Right now, I'm thinking, with 10 seconds left and you've got nothing going like what they just had, you've got to get the ball into number one's hands. He's the best scorer in the league. If you have nothing going, there's no offense running, clear out, run 4 on the baseline, put it in a box, I don't care, get out of his way, and let Aston score because he's the best player on the floor. In a moment like that, you've got to get him the ball. Aston's got to wait to take over, but he's also got to take over because he's the best player on the floor. I say again.
Sorensen did a quick job on the ground as a player went down. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. 3.5 minutes left in this game with a 2-point lead the Thunder way. Samuelson puts it up, no good. Sorensen with a big man move to take that ball down.
That'll give Sorensen a double-double on the night. Just shy of his point total average. He's at 12, averages 16. He's got 10 rebounds. That's more than his season averages. He's dominated the boards here.
Chang drives, stops and pops again. No good this time. We saw Samuelson come over the back of Phipps.
Yeah, he was just going for the rebound and lost control a little bit. He closes out, tries to box out, then comes in hard for the rebound, and Phipps just had position on him. And that'll be a 1-and-1 for the rest of the way here. And as I said, if you're the Cardinals, you want to be tied going into the 3-minute mark. These 2 free throws would be huge to that effect, tie this game up. Across the CCIW, Carthage leads by 1 over Carroll with 14:26 left. Again, the implications of that game, if Carthage wins that game, Wheaton Thunder, the best they can do is place in 5th in the conference. If Carthage loses that game to Carroll and Wheaton wins here tonight, they can be in 3rd place for the conference. CCIW right around halfway through, they will be in a good position to make the playoffs, and as Coach Schauer has said, that's been the goal all season. So a big game here in King Arena, a big game out in Kenosha, where Carthage is playing Carroll.
Spencer Peterson had a quick rest. He's going to take Eichelberger out. A huge first free throw there from Jaquan Phipps to make sure he would get the second of the 1-and-1. They'll take Chambers out, putting Koth so that he's able to guard Aston Francis in these last 3 minutes. Tie game, 3 minutes left. About anything you can ask for as a basketball fan. Ooh. Looked like Peters got away with a double dribble. Nonetheless, Spencer's gonna shoot a 3 and he'll hit it. What a momentum shift. Coach Raridan beside himself, just not even angry, just trying to figure out why it wasn't called, basically.
Him and every other person who's watching the game, that looked like a pretty glaringly obvious double dribble. You look into the stands at Luke's older brother, Tyler Peters, the former All-American, covering his face, laughing that turned into an assist for his little brother. Nonetheless, it's an 58-55 point game here with just shy of 3 minutes to play.
No doubt, everyone in King Arena thought that was going to go the Cardinals' way. And what a momentum shift that they were able to hit a 3-pointer off of that from Jay Spencer, someone who we talked about doesn't shoot a lot, but shooting 50% from 3 on the year.
Yeah, effective when he does pull the trigger. So if I'm North Central here, I'm really trying to focus on not having to drive with Chang or Koth and kick. I want to get the ball down low to Sorensen and then get him to kick the ball out. They haven't been very good at that, trying to get the ball and then kick out and take advantage of the double team. I would love to see them do that here.
Big possession for the Cardinals. Here's Henry up top, trying to isolate Sorensen down low. Peterson on him well. Skip pass to Koth. He's driving left. Finds Sorensen down low, turns right quickly, puts it in. That's what we've been looking for from Sorensen all game. Hasn't quite been there.
Yeah, it's a tough finish for a good player.
Approaching the 2-minute mark, 2:15 left. Wheaton up by 1 in a must-win game for each team because of the CCIW standings. Aston Francis resetting with 10 seconds. I think we know what's about to happen here. He is double teamed, a great double team. Peters is left wide open. He's going to take it up strong and finish.
Great pass there by Aston Francis. Great vision to know what's going on with the double team and exploit it. That's good basketball.
Certainly a student of the game to find the weak side man wide open. Peters, who's able to finish. Here's Henry driving, finds Phipps down low with a little pocket and one.
Really good pass here by Henry. Find that slip, as you know Jay Spencer wanted to block that shot. Henry doing a good job exploiting the fact that Spencer was just a little bit on his toes, jumped a little bit too much. And now Phipps, will have a chance to tie this game up.
Spencer and Milligan both down there, end up calling the foul on Milligan. Phipps hits the big free throw, minute 38 left. Every possession huge, as you know, Casey, from here on out. Here's Eichelberger on the left wing. Finds Peters. Now over to Spencer. Hits Samuelson. Out to Francis. Shoots it from way out. No good off the front iron. They're going to call a foul on Phipps as Samuelson was hit out of bounds. You see the shot here from Francis. Samuelson fights hard. Phipps hits him a bit, mostly a loose ball though, Casey.
That's what separates this Wheaton team from Wheaton teams in the past. Did you see how far Ricky Samuelson just ran to get that board? He ran from the three-point line on the opposite side to the baseline, and we'll see here just like this is the kind of stuff that's separating this Wheaton team, is that they're finding guys that are wide open on a double team, just smart play. They're willing to run from the three-point line to the baseline to get a rebound and get 2 points. This is why they can win this game, is because they're doing every little thing right.
Big free throws from Samuelson. Junior on this team, a leader. Now the Thunder looking for a stop, and certainly the Cardinals looking to get it down low to Sorensen. Henry over to Koth. Run the play for Sorensen on the baseline. Quickly doubled out to Koth again. He's driving over to Phipps. He loses it, but it's going to stay with the North Central Cardinals.
With 11 seconds left in the shot clock here, you'd like to think that this is where Coach Reardon would bust out his heavy hitter play. Yeah, he's going to draw something up here. You know you've got to get Sorensen the ball down low, or somebody's got to get a high percentage shot here, because this is probably the best shot you're going to get for the rest of the game.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Chambers in the game as well, a proven three-point shooter.
Absolutely.
Could have a big shot here, because you could set up the play so that Sorensen's down low at the same time as Chambers might be open for a three if the double comes to Sorensen.
Yeah, that's a great idea, and obviously Coach Reardon, a very good coach, a 12-year veteran at North Central, the winningest coach in North Central history, brought his team to several Final Fours, been a very powerful force in the CCIW, which is widely considered to be one of the best conferences in the country. This year voted to be the best conference in the country. North Central and Wheaton, both very good teams, but bottom feeders thus far in that conference, both playing to try to get back into the mix with the likes of an Augustana and a North Park, who are both ranked in the country. And this game here tonight, a big part of that.
This is certainly a game, not necessarily a signature win for the Thunder, but a much needed win if they can find it. They played close with a lot of good teams. They played close with Benedictine, played close with Augustana last year, if you want to go back that far. But a plethora of other teams, North Park, that they played close with this year. If they can win this game, it's got to help them going into Saturday against Carthage.
Absolutely. And like I said earlier, have yet to win a game by more than 7 points, the Wheaton Thunder. So this is going to be a game that's going to be decided by, I think, 4 or less. And can they do that? It remains to be seen.
The quick throw into Phipps, couldn't finish. Definitely going to stay with North Central as Spencer or a plethora of Thunder players hit it out.
They're going to get 30 seconds back on the shot clock, which is huge, as they can now get this possession and the last possession.
Phipps passes out to Henry. The Thunder knowing that they have to turn up on this defensive possession as Koth sets it up top. Coach Raridan trying to command his team, but it's getting pretty noisy in King Arena. There's Koth, he'll shoot a three, and he hits it. What a shot. Aston Francis slow to get to him. Now the Thunder are down by 1, and Coach Shower's going to take a timeout, trying to figure out what they want to do here, but what a shot from Koth.
The sophomore from West Aurora coming down the 365 and just drilling a dagger of a 3. But that's a little like scoring a touch or kicking a field goal with 2 minutes left and Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the ball. It's just a little bit too much time. Wheaton has got a full shot clock here, 27 seconds. Coach Shower, a successful coach, has been here for 8 years, knows his guys, and obviously most potent, number 1 in white, his name is Aston Francis. That guy can score.
Yeah.
And so if you're Coach Reardon here, if I'm Coach Reardon, I'm going to assume that Wheaton's going to score. I'm going to say no threes. Don't let them score a 3. Aston Francis might want to shoot a 3, but don't let them shoot a 3. I'm going to make them score over Sorensen. If they can do that, which if I'm Reardon, I'm going to assume that they're going to, you've got to draw up a play for some sort of a fast break. You got to assume you're going to have about 5 to 10 seconds. How are you going to get the ball down the floor and into a scorer's hand for a last-second shot? Yes, he can call a timeout if they score. I'm not a big fan of that because that's what Wheaton's expecting. I think if I'm Coach Reardon here, I'm drawing up a play for if Wheaton scores, what are we going to do? And then I'm running that play. If I'm Coach Shower here, get the ball to Aston Francis. Or run a diversion with Aston Francis and get it into Ricky Samuelson's hands.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Try to set someone up. Don't need a 3 here at all.
Yeah.
Try to find something down low. Definitely has Jay Spencer in there for his jumping ability to try to get that offensive board. Plenty of time, but down 1, you're going to want to go pretty quickly. They're going to double Aston Francis right away. We have a travel on Aston Francis, and I can't believe it. Clearly, the ball was held by Koth on this replay for more than 1.5 seconds.
Wow. Yeah, you could call a jump ball there. You could call a foul there. You could call... Honestly, you could have called a travel there, and he did call a travel, and Coach Shower is livid.
A plethora of other things, as you said, could have been called in that situation.
And that's a gutsy call. Here in King Arena, that's a gutsy call. It takes somebody with a lot of nerve to make that call in King Arena. And I can see how he saw it as a travel. I would have called it a jump ball just because I'm afraid of confrontation, and that would have been the easiest way to get it off me. But a travel is called with 24 seconds.
And as you see, a jump ball still points it the Cardinals' way. So if you're a ref, not that you have that constantly in mind, but it's kind of like I won't get like murdered for this, I guess, if I call it a jump ball.
But if that's the right call, you've got to call it. And if that's what he saw, then that's what he saw. I think Coach Shower obviously was rooting for a foul.
Right.
There would have been some anger on the Cardinal bench if they had just fouled in that situation. That's the one thing I didn't mention that I should have. If you're Coach Reardon, you're drawing up a play for if Wheaton scores, you're doing all that, and you're also grabbing every guy that's in by the shirt and saying, if you foul him, I will be irate. You cannot foul, and they almost fouled there. Got a very lucky break that the official called a travel there on Aston Francis. So what are you thinking now, Andrew? You have 24 seconds left. You're probably going to get fouled if you're the North Central Cardinals.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Definitely going to get fouled. You want to get to your best free throw shooters. North Central, a pretty good free throw shooting team. But yeah, no doubt about it. You're going to want to find your good free throw shooters. And if you're Wheaton, you got to make sure Eichelberger is not the one to foul. If I'm North Central, I might throw it to whoever Kobe is guarding, just because he has 3 fouls on the game.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if North Central was doing everything in their power to get the ball to Aiden Chang, shooting a unheard of 91% from the free throw line this season. That's right, 91%, number 11 in Cardinal. I would be surprised if Coach Reardon is not trying everything in his power to get the ball to that guy.
You see Peters on him, one of the best defenders. Malagan gets down the court to Henry. Mad rush for the foul. Peters gets to him. Now Henry at the line. Number 34, Henry is shooting 76% from the line, so nothing to sniff at if you're the Thunder.
You can see Chang a little bit frustrated there, was right there for the pass. Looked at Coach Reardon like, why didn't he give me the ball? So the ball is in number 34's hands. And that is a big shot to make a 2-point tie it, the junior from Chicago. has the chance to make it a 3-point game and make it almost impossible for the Wheaton Thunder to win this thing in regulation.
That football team making a lot of noise, beat this North Central football team in the playoffs, trying to distract Henry, unable to do it. We got a 3-point game, 65-62 in favor of the Cardinals, 21.2 seconds left. And Casey, if you're the Thunder, you don't have to go for a 3 here.
No, absolutely not, but you got to score quickly if you're not going to do that. And you definitely have to go at the rim. Like I was saying earlier about Sorensen, there can be no soft offense in this possession. In the 21 seconds that you've got, if you're not going to shoot a 3, you've got to go right at somebody's body. You've also got to make it. So definitely don't jump and try to get fouled. Jump and try to make it, but try to draw contact so that you can get an and one here. Otherwise, they're going to have to go back into this fouling thing and, you know, hope that somebody on North Central's team misses it, which crazier things have happened. But at this point, Wheaton's fighting the uphill battle, and they're going to need either, in my opinion, an and one or a 3 in this next 21 seconds.
I would think that the last thing Coach Raridan would want is a foul going to the rim here.
Yeah.
And so, to me, if you have a player, Ricky Samuelson, Aston Francis, somebody that can get to the rim, Luke Peters really, who can get to the rim quickly and with power from either hand.
Yeah.
I think Peters might be the guy to do that here.
Yeah, I think realistically the ball is going to Aston Francis or Ricky Samuelson for a 3. I think they're going to run a flare screen or something of that effect, and they're going to try to shoot a 3.
Players come out. North Central Cardinals looking for a stop here that could end the game if they're able to get it. Peters is going to bring the ball up on Phipps. Phipps has been on him well throughout this game, picked his pocket once. Peters is going to go to the rim, had the lane to his left but pulled up. Kicks out to Spencer, 10 seconds left now. Got to get a shot up. Spencer shoots a handed face three and hits it! Jay Spencer hits the 3 in Sorensen's face. Now 4 seconds for Henry. Ball tipped. Henry has to throw it up. No good behind the backboard. We're going to overtime. The freshman, Jay Spencer of Chicago Christian High School with the shot of the year so far.
See, they wanted to get the ball to Aston Francis there. Aston begging for it. Jay Spencer's wide open. He said, why not? 1, 2, 3, and we are going to overtime.
As we've said all game, Jay Spencer, proven shooter, shooting over 50% from three-point land on the year, but only about 12 attempts on the year. Biggest shot of his young career so far. Jay Spencer will be very special for this team in the future.
Wow, wow, wow. This is reminiscent of the Augustana game last year. Obviously, a much different team on the other side of that one, ranked #1 in the country all year. But this has the kind of electric atmosphere that game had. And we're playing another 5 minutes.
Got some free basketball coming at you, the best kind. Tie game, 5 minutes. Everybody's tired, everybody's intense. Emotional rivalry between North Central and Wheaton. As we're gonna get started soon, Coach Raridan waiting to bring his team out. Certainly in this building, King Arena, all the energy in the way of the Wheaton Thunder at this moment.
Jay Spencer with only 6 points, but what a huge 6 points. Those are 3 of them coming in the last 20 seconds to put this Wheaton team in overtime with a chance here against the Cardinals.
You talk about Jay Spencer's shot there. I mean, he's already 6'8", and then he puts that arc on.
Yeah.
I mean, Sorensen's right there, but it's unblockable. Great shot. Chang trying to calm down his team, get him back into it after that huge momentum shift. Sorensen going to work a pick and pop. Henry's going to shoot a 3, blocked by Ricky Samuelson. Now Aston Francis running the break on his own. Kicks over to Eichelberger, wide open. Now to Samuelson in the corner. No good, still cold on the game. Ricky Samuelson not hitting as much as he'd like to so far in this game. 0 for 3 from 3. Sorensen working his muscles, no good. Gets it back, puts it up and good. If North Central wants to be successful in this overtime, don't you think it has to be Sorensen?
Yeah, and I think that was a really good example of what he can do. It's just really patient offense, just really calm and collected.
Eichelberger, no good. Fight for the rebound. Is going to stay with the Thunder.
It's really, honestly, what the problem has been for North Central is Sorensen is a rebounding machine. I mean, the guy's got 12 rebounds along with Capoletti, but after that, the most rebounds on the team is Henry. They're really not crashing the boards very hard. They're just letting those two guys take care of it, and guys like Luke Peters are able to cause havoc like that and keep the ball with White. They've got to get all of their players crashing the boards.
Here's Francis on the drive, gets fouled. He'll take 2 shots. And like you said, Capoletti with so many rebounds in the game, but on the bench right now. So you watch this drive from Francis to his right like he likes. Fouled by Koth.
So foul trouble on both sides a little bit. We've got 4 on Phipps. He's been a pretty big contributor defensively, guarding Aston Francis for most of this game. Other than that, the only foul trouble is Capoletti with 3. I think that's why he's on the bench at this point. You'd like to see him come back in. Wheaton side, nobody with 4, a couple guys with 3 as Aston Francis ties that game up. So it looks like we'll have all hands on deck here. Both coaches have access to their full squad in this overtime period.
Koth looking to Sorensen, but Peterson does a great job to keep him on the outside. Chang in the corner, passes up to Henry. Now to Chang, trying to get it to Sorensen. Turned over. Here comes Aston Francis trying to control things. Pulls it out, but doesn't have his head up. Falls to his knees, kicks to Eichelberger. Peterson thought about the 3, but instead they're going to reset it here with Peters.
I wouldn't mind getting the ball to Aston Francis here for a one-on-one. Looks like they're going to run a screen play. They're going to kick the ball to Aston Francis right here. Unable to get it to him. He's got 5 seconds to go to work.
He's going to shoot it from the volleyball line, just off the front iron. Peterson gets it, gathers with a strong move, and it's a foul on Sorensen. Sure looked like a lot of ball to me, unless he got him low with the body.
Yeah, that's going to be the 4th foul on Sorensen. That's a huge call. Got him after hitting the ball. That's not a foul.
I'm not sure I see that call either.
That comes from the same referee that called the travel on Aston Francis here earlier in this game. Possibly a makeup call. I don't know how I feel about that. I think he might have just turned 1 mistake into 2 mistakes.
Into the game, we have Capoletti for Henry. He'll bring a lot more size. 12 rebounds, as you said, on the game. He's looking for a rebound here, quite honestly.
At this point, every board matters. Just under 3 minutes to play.
Creates some havoc. Rebounded by Wheaton. Now the ball's on the ground. Fight for it. Over to Peterson. It's going to go off him in the Cardinals' way. Great hustle both sides. Just lots of fatigue, lots of sloppiness toward the end of this game, but that's what overtime basketball is all about, Casey.
Yeah, I'm really actually pretty surprised that Spencer Peterson is in this game. Gunter is on the bench, only having played 20 minutes. Peterson now has 19. I'd like to see Gunter get back in this game. Peterson has played very, very well, don't get me wrong, but Gunter's kind of been your guy. I'd love to see him get in here.
Capoletti up top, gets it down to Sorensen. Not doubled yet, now doubled by Eichelberger. He still goes strong. Might have used a little elbow, but not enough to award a call on him. So now back and forth we go. All these sucker punches. North Central's up. Aston Francis going on the baseline, kicks out to Peterson, finds himself wide open. Can't hit it. Almost too open. Peters knocked down, no call.
That's a great pass by Aston Francis to find Peterson open on the perimeter there.
Seeing the Cardinals slow it down significantly now. 18 seconds left on this shot clock. Capoletti's driving to the rim, blocked by Francis. Sorensen with the board. The Cardinals are up 3 now, minute 45 left.
And Sorensen's taken over a little bit here in this overtime period. I believe that's 6 points for him in this overtime. Arguably a foul on that one just a few possessions ago. But he's now got 20 and 13, 8 offensive rebounds for the big man, and that's All-American numbers right there. For the Wheaton team, leading points-wise is Aston Francis with 18. He's got 6 rebounds. Trevor Gunter leading the rebound fight with 7, only having played 20 minutes. Aston Francis has played 39 minutes in this game. followed closely by Luke Peters with 38.
And when you're the best scorer in the CCIW, that's what Coach Schauer needs from you. He needs those minutes constantly. And we talk about Alex Sorensen in the first half, only had 7 points, struggled from the field a bit.
Yeah.
He was just 1 of 4 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line, which is where he got a decent amount of his points. But in this second half and overtime has taken over, as you said, 20 points, 13 boards. That's what you need from an all-CCIW player.
And those of you who know that the player of the game is, in my head, I'm trying to decide who I'm going to award that to. At this point, it might just be who hits the last shot. There's been so many good players in this game. You think about Chang, you think about Capoletti, you think about Sorensen on the North Central side. On the Wheaton side, obviously Aston Francis. Spencer Peterson has had a great game. Jay Spencer with that shot, huge. I mean, there's just been so many contributors on both sides. It's really been just a death match between 2 groups of 5 guys.
Really hard-fought team effort from each side as Francis, minute 37, trying to get things going. Samuelson's going to drive to his left, kick to Peters. Peters going right. He's going to take it up into the body of Phipps, who can't foul, as you said, with 4 fouls, so that's a good take.
Really smart take there by Peters to understand that Phipps is not going to foul and just go right into him.
Went very controlled, sometimes gets a little out of control going to the rim. Very good there. Here comes Koth. He's going to turn, and it's off the front iron. Ill-advised shot, pretty quick shot too. I know you only have a 1-point lead, so you're not running it all the way down, but like to see a better shot there if you're the Cardinals. Samuelson trying to find space. Eichelberger now out to Spencer. Peters over to Samuelson, driving to his left. We have a travel. Great help defense there from Chang to be in the right place.
It's a really good call. They could have called a foul there, but Chang just beat him to the spot. Or excuse me, Phipps just beat him to the spot. Really good job not fouling. Just stood there and took. If he had fallen over, I would have expected a charge. But either way, the guests now have it here, up 1. But they've been in this situation before, and then Jay Spencer happened.
Jay Spencer, the reason that we are still talking to you, the reason we're still playing some basketball at this moment. Hit that 3, about 10 seconds, 7 seconds left on the clock, realized he had to do something, came around on the left wing. As we'll see Aston Francis coming out here. Jay Spencer didn't have this shot. Small pick from Peters. Sorensen was not too late to that contest. Jay Spencer, just a better shot.
What an exciting shot here. And as we look at the Carroll-Carthage score over in Kenosha, Carroll now has a commanding 11-point lead with just 5 minutes to play. So if that score holds, Wheaton has a chance here to jump into 3rd place in a tie with Carthage, Carroll, and themselves, a 3-way tie. Obviously, there would be tiebreakers that would apply there. But this would be a big win for the Thunder, especially such a hard-fought game. Very demoralizing to lose a game like this for either team.
Now, if you're the Thunder coming out here, you know half court's about where the Cardinals are going to be throwing it in. What are you looking to do here?
I think you've got to try to double-team Sorensen. They haven't done a lot out of passing the ball from Sorensen out to other people, so I think you stick with that. Don't let Sorensen beat you here. There are other guys that are weapons here, but in this overtime, it's been Sorensen, and you don't have to foul. There's a 20-second, almost 20-second differential here, so you've got plenty of time, but you've got to get a stop. The best defensive possession right here is what the Thunder need, and that's why Jake Milligan's on the floor, as we were saying earlier, just a really, really scrappy defender.
North Central could extend this game to 2 possessions if they hit a 3 here. They'll work the ball to Henry with Milligan on him. Now to Capoletti. Koth driving, pulls it back out. 10 on the shot clock now. Capoletti over to Henry. Now Chang, now Henry. Down low, it's turned over. 21 seconds, 1-point game. I saw this story before in the second half, about at the end.
Really, really good defensive possession there. Jay Spencer did a great job keeping the ball out of Sorensen's hands. For a freshman, that's phenomenal defense.
Remember, in that late second half, about 20 seconds left, Aston Francis had that questionable travel called on. He's going to pull up for 3. No good. Rebound by Malagan. He's going straight up. We have a foul called. The hand's just a little too low for Capoletti. And Malagan has 2 of the biggest free throws of his young career, just a freshman.
8 seconds left here. These free throws could be decisive as he'll shoot 2.
Malagan rolls it over like a man nervous, but one who kept his line.
Yeah, when you're nervous here, you're tired, you've got to remember to use your legs. He missed that one a little short. He's got to get his legs under this shot.
It's short. Rebounded by North Central. They'll probably hold for the last shot now. 5 seconds left with Chang. Chang's going to take it on Peters. Kick to Phipps. He goes up. He missed it. How could he miss it? He had a layup right under the basket, wide open because of Peters' slip, and the man could not finish the layup. Unbelievable. We have a second overtime, Casey Balikian.
We'll see here a pretty devastating slip on defense by Aston Francis. Not able to challenge the shot. Phipps was just a little bit more open than he expected. And what an exciting game as we are going into double overtime in King Arena.
Double overtime. Some of the stats that we have so far in regulation and that extra overtime that we saw, 20 and 13 still from Sorensen, 11 and 13 from Capoletti. Of course, he's a man that has, I believe, 4 personal fouls, might be 3. On the Wheaton side, we see pretty balanced scoring effort. Aston Francis, of course, leading the charge with 18 points, a little shy of what he usually averages. Spencer Peterson, a big spark off the bench this game, Casey. 13 points.
Huge spark off the bench, and he's a guy that, you know, has been someone that we all anticipated. We were thinking to ourselves, wow, this Wheaton team could be something if that Spencer Peterson kid is any good. And he's shown that he's any good. I mean, he's the first guy off the bench. He's taken on the toughest defensive assignments. He's hit some big shots. That kid can play. And like what Coach Showers said at the end of the last game that they won against Milliken, these bottom 2 classmen, the freshman and the sophomore classes, that's a championship group of kids right there.
No doubt about it. A young team, the Wheaton Thunder, next year and definitely in 2 years will be one of the best in the CCIW. Henry has the ball now, trying to find Sorensen. A great front by Jay Spencer. Take to the rim by Koss, short. Sorensen with the board. He is fouled. 14 boards on the game now for Sorensen.
And that'll just be that'll be Spencer's 4th. So we'll see Peterson come back in. Spencer playing a lot of minutes here in the second half, coming back from that ankle injury, kept him out of last game.
And even though Koth was unable to finish that floater, it's still a very costly mistake for Aston Francis to run past him, let him get in the lane, put up a soft shot that likely Sorensen can get to the offensive rebound for.
Yeah, it was a little bit of reckless abandon there from Francis. High risk, high reward, didn't quite come through with it. 2 points there, not necessarily his fault, but nonetheless, North Central here leads.
Here's Eichelberger over to Samuelson. Now out to Francis. It's a bad pass. Here goes Koth. Wide open. He'll just finish this with the left hand.
You wouldn't expect to see the Thunder being the team to make the fatigue mistakes. That was a fatigue turnover. It's a little bit lazy by Ricky Samuelson, and Wheaton's got the deeper team, and so you'd expect to see them with a little bit fresher legs than the North Central team, who's only gone, I think, 8 deep.
Aston Francis looking to do it on his own here. Goes into Chang, steps back, partially blocked by Koth. Shower not happy with that shot at all. Wheaton could go down 3 possessions on this possession.
Yeah, this is a big one right here. If they ever needed a stop, this is it.
Here comes Henry. Now over to Chang, driving right. Trying to find Sorensen, good defense by Peterson. Now out to Sorensen. Chang driving right again. He's just gonna fire one. No good, but rebound. But partially blocked out. Eichelberger able to get it. Now Peters, he's gonna drive on Chang, and he is fouled. Chang Definitely fouling him on purpose. Not going to give him an easy 2, up by 4.
Especially with Peters' free throw percentage. That's a phenomenal foul. I think Peters is shooting just over 60%. Let me check that stat for you. Peters, a 54% free throw shooter on the year. Not a bad foul there. Another stat that's staggering here in the second half. Wheaton losing the rebounding battle by 13. They were down just 2 in the middle of that second half. Now the Cardinals have really surged ahead. 23 offensive rebounds. Most of those coming to Sorensen, I would believe. Peters here looks to make it a 3-point game.
He'll hit the second one. A big one, cuts it to 1 possession, but the Thunder need another stop as Koth is going to take all of his time bringing this one up with 3:15 left in the game. Koth passes to Capoletti, just back in the game. Here's Henry trying to find Sorensen. Sorensen off the block on Peterson. Peterson holding his ground. Kicks out to Chang. He's going to drive left, put up a shot and hits. That is a big-time shot from Chang.
Chang has just been so good in every aspect of the game. A little bit heavy on the turnovers, but he has been the leader on the floor tonight.
Samuelson out to Peterson. He's going to fire a 3 over Sorensen. Air balls out of bounds. Not sure that's the shot you're looking for. We've seen a lot of 3s taken by Peterson when he's wide open instead of a shot where he's pressured.
Yeah, that was just bluntly a very bad shot. I mean, there was probably 15 seconds left on the shot clock. I mean, it was plenty of time. That's a shot that I wouldn't want to see Aston Francis shoot, and he's the best scorer in the conference, let alone Spencer Peterson, and I think his teammates showed some frustration with that. Not a guy prone to those kinds of bad decisions. He'll look to make up for that here in the rest of this overtime period.
Speaking of Aston Francis, haven't seen him take too many shots in this overtime period. Koth took a shot, another rebound by Henry, another offensive board. Last time he turned it over, this time gets it to Chang as he resets with a fresh 30.
Yeah, big offensive rebound there for the Cardinals as they can waste another 30 seconds here. The clock is their friend.
Here goes Chang driving left again like he likes to pop. He's going to back it out. He's got 9 seconds left on the clock. Turns, fires. Couldn't get it to go. Good defense by Peters, good board by Peterson.
Fantastic defense by Peters there. If there was a 5-second closely guarded call, it would have been that.
Francis going to the rim. He turns it over to Capoletti. Great defense by the Cardinal.
That's fatigue right there. I mean, that's a guy who's played, 44 minutes now, and it's showing.
Capoletti up. Timeout now from Coach Schauer. He can't feel good, but if you're the North Central side, that's exactly how you wanted to come out in the second overtime.
Absolutely. Just playing honestly with a little bit more conditioning. It's just some fatigue out of this team in white. Not something that we expected. They've played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys deep. North Central has only played 8 guys deep, and so you would expect to see the Thunder a little bit more juicy. An argument could be made, maybe Reagan Jones should have seen some more minutes in this game. Somebody who's big, who can stretch the defense, who's proven that he can score and be an effective player. That will be, I mean, obviously Monday morning quarterback, but maybe they just, needed a little bit more diversity in who's in there on guarding Sorensen, because they've had to work very, very, very hard.
I think that's exactly what it comes down to. Sorensen down low. Reagan Jones, great shooter, stretches the floor. Defensively has some work to do. Get in that weight room, get a little bit bigger. Guarding a guy like Sorensen would be pretty tough for him, so that's why Peterson has seen so many minutes. Spencer, again, interesting we don't see Gunter come back in. A guy who has been starting for this team, just still sitting on the bench, 20 minutes in this game, 4 of 5 from the field. Hasn't done anything that I've seen to be in Coach Schauer's doghouse by any means. It's just the lineup that Coach Schauer wants to go with.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a guy that had his best game of the season last Saturday. He's sitting on the bench, so Coach Schauer, a very specific squad here that he wants to work with.
Here goes Peters driving, kicks to Francis. He's got a wide open shot. No good. Not too often we see Aston Francis miss from there, but a big rebound by Koth, who's going to go to the line now, fouled by Peters.
It's a good play design there by the Thunder to get Aston Francis so wide open. He's got to get more involved if they're going to come back into this. But honestly, the legs of Peters and Francis, just two of the point leaders, the kind of the offensive facilitators on this Wheaton team, just look exhausted, Andrew.
Koth misses the first free throw. Keeps Wheaton in the game, hanging around. About a minute left. The worst deficit that you could face and come back from is usually about 10. Wheaton still has a chance in this one. Koth with his second free throw is going to hit it.
So now it's an 8-point game. More difficult. Need probably a quick bucket.
Here comes Peters running the same play. Out to Aston Francis up top. He's going to shoot a fadeaway three, and it's it!
With that guy on the floor, you're never out of a game.
As you said, Aston Francis can do anything. Aston Francis has to be careful. Refs know he needs to foul, but don't have to make it too obvious.
Yeah, that's a great shot there, too. And as I said, with Aston Francis on the floor, you're never out of a game. My mind goes back to the U Chicago game very early in this season, their fourth game of the season. They were down at one point, I believe it was 30 points, and ended up coming back in the second half. They were down 30 points with like 11 minutes left, came all the way back and ended up only losing by 2. We're up by 3 at one point. Again, not able to win a close game. But Aston Francis had, I believe, 36 in that game, only with 21 in this game, including the overtime. So definitely looking to get more involved as his team looks to overcome a 6-point deficit that is now 7.
Deficit hanging around at 7, as you said, Casey. And if you're Coach Schauer, what type of player are you drawing up for your team here?
I think you got to get another quick 3. I think that's your team's strength. You got a lot of shooters. You got a lot of guys who can be threats in the three-point line. If it's me, I think you get either Aston or Ricky Samuelson. I personally look to get Aston going just because I think he's your best chance at a lot of scoring. Obviously, Ricky Samuelson is their quote-unquote shooter, but Aston's the clutch guy. He's the one who's done it all year for you, and I think he's the one you give it to.
I think there's no doubt that Aston Francis is the man who wants the ball at the end of the game. You were talking about earlier how the ball was following us, hitting the monitor, coming to you being the man who wants the ball at the end of the game.
Give it to me, I'll hit it.
Aston Francis is certainly, I'd put you in if I could, but Aston Francis is certainly the man who wants the ball at the end of this game. Give him a chance to create, see if they bring a double, triple team, and then have your shooters on the outside, I think is exactly what you want to do here. If you're North Central, how are you looking to set up defensively?
Just don't foul and no threes. I think if they want to drive and go to the basket and hit a layup, I mean, obviously you don't let them do that, but I'm fine with that. Just trust in your guys that you're going to hit free throws, get the ball to Aiden Chang and just let him shoot 91% from the free throw line, and you're going to win this game. So after this game is over here tonight, we'll have another broadcast for you, Wheaton Thunder fans, here on WTSN, brought to you by Sunrise Communications on Saturday, where the Thunder face off against the Carthage Red Men. Tune in for that after we finish up with the last 50 seconds of this nail-biter here against North Central.
Luke Peters trying to find someone open, pass it down to Malagan, who's fouled. And if there is anything that Coach Reardon wanted, it was not a foul.
Yeah, I don't know really what was going through Tommy Koth's mind there. The sophomore from West Aurora really must just not have been thinking. Like I said, you don't want to let him shoot a layup, but you don't want to stop the clock and give him 2 points. And that's just what can happen here. If Malagan hits both of these shots, he can make it a 5-point game with 42 seconds. That's much more manageable, especially with the clock stopped.
Malagan hits both free throws, was 1 of 2 earlier on a couple clutch ones, tied up the game. Now some pressure defense. This is good defense here. Got Malagan on a foul, but it was looking like they were going to trap him in the corner.
Yeah, it's hard to tell if Coach Schauer wanted a foul there. Obviously, you have to a little bit because you're down 2 possessions, but it did look like they might be able to get a steal. I think what Coach Schauer probably told them was try to get a steal, and if they complete 1 pass, then foul. I think he might have been a little bit disappointed at the premature nature of that pass, especially fouling this man, the one man in the whole conference you don't want to foul. Missing a free throw just really isn't an option for him.
Doesn't even really take his time, just 1 dribble, squats and pops. 2 for 2. Thunder down 7, 35 seconds left. Need to find a 3-point shot here most likely. Peters takes it to the rim, up strong. Henry will let him do that, as you said, hands up, backing up. We've got a 5-point game, 5-7, 5-7 is what we've seen so far in this second overtime.
What an exciting night here. Weeknight, not a lot of fans in the stadium here for a weeknight game, though. Not bad, as the Wheaton Thunder have struggled in the attendance arena in the last couple of years. But everybody's showing up here. I mean, we've got homework due. This is Wheaton College. There are people that are, skipping papers to watch this game, Lord forbid. So definitely a more electric atmosphere than we had expected here on a Wednesday night. But a fun environment to be in if you're any of the guys on the floor, or even if you're just here. As this game has come down to it, North Central has the edge. Looking for a good drive, the short drive back to Naperville here tonight.
Henry trying to get the ball in. Samuelson plays good defense now to Sorensen. Got to get a quick foul now. Spencer thought he had the jump ball there, but ended up calling a foul on the wraparound.
Yeah, and I think it's not a bad call. I couldn't really see his hands. Didn't look like he had both hands on the ball. So I think knowing as a referee does that they're trying to foul, I think that's a pretty obvious call. But what a game for for Jay Spencer, as he'll walk off the floor. His line tonight, 6 points, 2 rebounds, but again, a huge 6 points, bringing this game into the first overtime, and he'll sit down with 5 fouls. As Sorensen makes it a 6-point game, a chance here to go up 7.
Sorensen misses the second one. We've got a 6-point game on our hands, 24 seconds left. Maybe a quick take to the rim again. Here's Francis. He's going to shoot a forced 3, and it's in! That man can do no wrong, Casey. We've got a 3-point game.
It's never over with Francis on the floor.
Henry trying to get the ball in. Finally finds Koth, who passes it to Chang down the court. He will elect to take it up, and is fouled very hard by Malagan, who was certainly just making sure he didn't make the shot.
Yeah, that's a really good foul. He got ball. It wasn't malicious. It wasn't intent to injure. Certainly not a flagrant, but definitely unfortunate that Chang went down as hard as he did. I hope the young man's okay.
Chang tonight beat up, just took that hit. Man's played 47 minutes tonight. He is the leader in the CCIW for minutes per game played, averages 36.67. As he'll hit the first free throw, no problem.
You'll see here Francis keeping him in the game like he does. That very quick release right in Henry's face. And that's just tough if you're Erwin Henry. Not a lot you can do.
Chang, rare miss from the free throw line. Here comes Peters, 10 seconds left. They're down 4. You don't need a 3. Take it anyway. Partially blocked. Can't get to the ball. Koth on the ground. We have a timeout for the Cardinal. 2.2 seconds left. And with a 4-point deficit, I'd say that's about it, Casey.
Yeah, their only chance there was to get a travel call, I think, and they didn't get it. North Central got the timeout, and that looks like it'll be it as King Arena starts to clear. People starting to give up hope, even though the Thunder fought very valiantly in a game that looked twice as if it was over. First with the shot from Jay Spencer to take the Thunder into that first overtime, and then in the second overtime, the open layup that was missed. And what an exciting game it's been. And the score will likely hold, and now it's time for your WTSN Player of the Game, brought to you by me, Casey Balikian, officially sanctioned by no one. Tonight's Player of the Game is number 11 of North Central, Aiden Chang. Played 47 minutes on 40% from the field, 50% from 3, 19 points, leading this team in every way with some clutch free throws here towards the end. Sorensen obviously having a great game. We've come to expect that from the big man. But Chang really the vocal leader on this team, really the heart and soul, playing 5 minutes longer than Sorensen, really putting his body on the line for this win here tonight, and it's a well-deserved one for number 11.
If you're the Cardinals here, do you just throw it long to Capoletti?
No, I give it to that guy, and that way if they try to foul.
You've got a point. 2.2 seconds left. You could run the clock out from the other side of the court, but anyway.
So we'll be joined by Coach Schauer over here. Maybe. We'll see how he feels after that tough loss. Coach Schauer, get his thoughts on the game as he heads over here to discuss a hard-fought loss by his young men, a team of guys that is very well poised to become a competitor here in this conference still and definitely in the future. We've got Andrew down on the floor now with Coach Schauer.
I'm joined now by Coach Schauer. And Coach, a hard-fought game, double overtime, emotional game. Big shot from Jay Spencer to send it into overtime. What can you say about your team's effort today?
Yeah, it's mixed. I told them in that last time out, the worst thing, I don't want them to hang their heads. I thought we showed a lot of fight. And, North Central's depleted. This is one we could have and in some ways should have won. The growing frustration with a young team, and I've got to somehow get it out of them, is a handful of times we come out of timeouts with things in that I have given them specific things to do that don't happen. And, that is that worth 4 points? Well, it's definitely worth 1 in regulation. And it's becoming a bit of a norm. It's an accepted norm from our team, and so that's disappointing. But I thought we really battled, and pleased with it. We now get almost a must-win one here with Carthage. We got to go on the road and find one. So mixed emotions. I mean, a devastating loss. Proud of our guys, but we've lost a handful of these this year, and a lot of it is just minor details on our part.
Coach, good luck with the rest of the season. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for joining us here for this thrilling game, 82-86, the final score between the North Central Cardinals and the Wheaton Thunder. For Casey Balicki and I'm Andrew Pickin, thank you for joining us on WTSN, and thank you, Sunrise Productions. So long.